It's time to play a game that I like to call What's in the Box? What's in the box? Terrible props? Maybe, but it's a box. Now, World Book Day is coming up, and the children, of course, around Thatcham have a World Book Day treasure hunt to come along to, and they can come along and they can get themselves a free book. Once they've done the treasure hunt, the free book comes from us, thanks to all of the donations that happen here at the Retrograde. However, I kind of wanted to focus this morning for What's in the Box on all of those children that grew up and still love reading. And we've been really lucky to receive a donation through the post here at the Retrograde from the Goldsborough Bookshop, the Goldsborough Bookshop of London and Brighton. They're the home of signed first edition books.
Legend!
I think I just gave away What's in the Box. So without further ado, let's get into it and show you what we've received and what's available for you to come and find here at the Retrograde. First of all, 1984 is the inspiration for this book. It's called Julia by Sandra Newman, and it has this awesome edge graphic as well. Those eyes, and it will start to become more apparent as I tell you what this is about. But basically it's 1984. And Julia Worthing works as a mechanic fixing the novel writing machines in the fiction department of the Mystery of Truth in London, chief city of Airstrip 1. Under the rule of the party and its leader, Big Brother, Julia routinely breaks the law but also collaborates with the regime whenever necessary. Everyone likes Julia, a diligent member of the Junior Anti-Sex League, though she is secretly promiscuous. She knows how to survive in a world of constant surveillance, newspeak, doublethink, and the threat of the thought police. She's adept at staying alive. For the millions of readers who have been brought up with Orwell's 1984, here is a provocative, mischievous, and utterly gripping companion novel. And more importantly, this is number 995 of only 1,500 numbered copies, and it's signed by Julia. Goldsborough Books really came through on this one. Awesome. Next up in the box is Small Island by Andrea Levy. And if I quickly scoot through a couple of pages, I'll be able to show you that it is also signed by Andrea Levy. Amazing. And to give you a heads up what this is about, it's 1948 and England is recovering from a war, but at 21 Nevern Street, London, the conflict has only just begun. Queenie Bligh's neighbours do not approve when she agrees to take in Jamaican lodgers, but with her husband Bernard not back from the war, what else can she do? Small Island explores a point in England's past when the country began to change. In this delicately wrought and profoundly moving novel, Andrea Levy handles the weighty themes of empire, prejudice, war, and love with a superb lightness of touch and generosity of spirit. And it's a beautiful cover, right? Next up in the box. This one isn't signed, but it is a proof copy. Essentially, it's an uncorrected bound proof, not for resale, we're selling it, and not for quotation. I'm about to quote it. Okay, Close to Death is by Anthony Horowitz, and the Sunday Times said that this is easily the greatest of our crime writers. Raises the game playing to Olympic level by The Guardian. Daily Express says splendidly entertaining. It's a masterpiece according to Lucy Foley. The Independent says it's sheer genius, pure delight from the New York Times, and masterful stuff from Richard Osmond, who's pretty big in crime writing himself right now. Good old Richard. Was he in Pointless? He was in Pointless. Next up is Where They Lie by Claire Coughlin. This is based in Dublin, and it's some stories demand to be told. They keep coming back, echoing down through the decades until they find a teller. In Dublin 1968, Nicoletta Sato is an ambitious junior reporter for the Irish Sentinel when the bones of Julia Bridges are discovered in the garden of a house on the outskirts of Dublin. Drawn into investigating the 25-year-old mystery of Julia's disappearance and her links to the notorious Gloria Fitzpatrick, The story takes Nicoletta into the tangled underworld of the illegal abortion industry, stirring up long-buried secrets from her own past. As much a murder mystery story as a look at a young woman's struggle to succeed in a man's world. Where They Lie is a beautifully atmospheric debut that will stay with you long after you've turned the page. And if I do turn the page once and then twice, you can see it's been signed by Claire as well. Amazing. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Goldsboro Books. The next book, by the way, look at this for an edging. Here. It's all blue and black. And it's signed by Ray Celestine. It's Palace of Shadows. It's Palace of Shadows, and it's number 817 of 1,500 copies of the first edition. Amazing. Now, Palace of Shadows is Ray Celestine's 5th book, with his first 4 books known as the City Blues Quartet, which were The Axeman's Jazz, Dead Man's Blues, The Mobster's Lament, and Sunset Swing. He's received loads of awards and loads of nominations. This story, mixing mystery along with the mob, is an amazing one. And finally, I really want to read this book. I've got 2 copies of it. So maybe I'll read one of them and it can be used. It's Holmes and Moriarty. I've got to say, Sherlock Holmes has always been one of my guilty pleasures as far as a character is concerned. Since I first read when I was just a little boy, Hound of the Baskervilles. And I love that story. Anyway, this is Holmes and Moriarty. It's endorsed by the Conan Doyle estate, who say it's very clever and such fun to read. And as I step through a couple of pages, it's number 727 of 1,500 numbered copies for this first edition. And it's signed. Sherlock Holmes and his faithful friend Dr. John Watson have been asked by actor George Reynolds to help him get to the bottom of a mystery. George wants to find out why the audience who come to see him perform every night are the same people, only wearing disguises. Is something sinister going on, and if so, what? Meanwhile, Holmes's archenemy, Professor Moriarty, is in danger. Implicated in the murder of a gang leader, Moriarty and his second, Colonel Moran, go on the run from the police in order to find out who has set them up. But their investigation puts them in the way of Holmes and Watson, and it's not long before all 4 realise that they are being targeted by the same person, with countless lives on the line, including their own, obviously. They must form an uneasy alliance in order to unmask the true villain. The trail leads to a hotel in Switzerland, and a conspiracy far greater than any could have believed possible. Who can be trusted, and will any of them survive? I'm going to go spoilers. Some of them, if not all of them, survive. But it's about the story, right? Okay, so it's not just children that read books. We've got some amazing books here for adults. It's not just those signed items and not just those proof copies. We have others in our phenomenal collection here. Other signed books here, including one from John Arne Riise, including Henrietta Knight, who wrote Best Mate. First editions galore, and loads of books you'd expect to see too. Come into the retrograde. I hope you enjoyed this edition of What's in the Box. I did.